take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
It's time!
It's Sunday, March 21st, 2021. This is the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Tabor Cragen.
My name is Mason Knight. This is episode 66, Brunson versus Holland recap. And then we jump into some MMA news, and we got a lot to talk about. And then we talk about the UFC 260 preview show. But before we do all that, Tabor, where do we begin?
With our social media accounts, Mason, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Gab for you free speech lovers. At the Church of MMA. Guys, if you aren't following us, make sure you go and do it. We're posting funny memes or clips of the show every single day. We're trying to make you guys laugh. Hit us up.
Yeah, check out our YouTube channel too, guys. We are making new adjustments to the channel, making new thumbnails, more engaging thumbnails, and we are almost up to 500 subscribers, trying to hit that 1,000 mark so we can start going live, our episodes live on Sunday nights. We can start doing live fight companions, a lot of things in the work for this podcast. We aren't going anywhere, so be sure to do all that. So,
church merch, real quick.
Merch. Oh, yeah, church merch.
Gotta show it off. Gotta show it off. Guys, Teespring at the Church of MMA. Go get a t-shirt, go get a mug, a face mask. We got it all. Yeah. We got it all. Everything goes back to the show. Everything goes right into the show. And we're not rich, guys, so we need it.
Yeah, and hey, we're trying to get a lot more equipment to try to go live, multicam show. I mean, if you guys watch JRE, you know how the fight companions go. We hate having this here where we have to have all four guys sit on one side of the table.
It's too much. I'm too big.
Yeah, it is. But if we had a multicam show, we'd be able to do the same way, down the table, which would be really cool. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Mason, I mean, a controversial weekend? No, it's not. It's not.
No.
For once.
Yeah. Everything was pretty clean this weekend.
Yeah, weird. I know. It's like, what are we going to talk about? We've got nothing to talk about. Oh, I guess just Kevin Holland versus Derek Brunson?
Oh, wow.
Okay. This was not the fight I was expecting. Let's just be really honest. I was expecting a lot more from Kevin Holland. It didn't happen. But Derek Brunson, man, he looked so good. Yeah. Good in the clinch, good with the wrestling transitions, just completely dominated Kevin Holland on the ground.
He did. He absolutely did. And it was a great, smart strategy from Derek Brunson. Kevin Holland has got tremendous power as a middleweight. I mean, so much power. And he caught Brunson a couple times. Brunson in the post-fight interview said he didn't, but we all saw it. He definitely did. He landed. Yeah. And there's something with the speed of Kevin Holland where it's scary. Yeah. He catches you with a combination, you're going to bed, But the thing is Derek Brunson was so smart in this fight, taking him down, using that as an advantage, and he did. He dominated him on the ground, and Kevin Holland had no answer, man.
Oh, none.
Had no answer on the ground.
There was a few times it looked like maybe he was going to try and go for an arm bar, try to transition into a triangle. But really, most of the time he was on his back. He just had the body triangle, and he was just letting Derek Brunson unload. And, credit to Kevin Holland. He didn't take the most damage in the world on the ground, but, I mean, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. You're not winning rounds that way. It's like, yeah, you're defending these strikes, you're doing all this, but you're not getting back up.
Yeah.
And it really hurt the man, and you could tell it was draining on his gas tank. And I even said towards the fourth and fifth, it even looked like Brunson was starting to slow down. You could tell his gas tank was really depleting. But he was still taking him down.
Yeah. Well, that head and arm choke that he tried for about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I thought he was going to gas his arm out.
That's the thing. He was gassed in that third round, and Kevin Holland did not take advantage of it. Had he had really tried to get to his feet, try to get to the fence and work his way up from there, Brunson was tired, and I think Kevin Holland could have finished him had he had gotten up. But there was no sense of urgency at all from Kevin Holland, and I think that was the biggest problem with this fight for Kevin. Because Kevin Holland didn't look bad, and do we jump into the whole Kevin Holland situation with how much he was talking? First and foremost, Kevin Holland is one of the most entertaining fighters in the UFC, period.
Yes, 100% echo that sentiment.
And here's the thing, ESPN Plus, I pay for a subscription. Okay, if I'm paying for a subscription and it's a limited viewing source, right? I get on ESPN, you can't do the cuss words. I get it. But if I'm paying you for a subscription, I want to hear everything that goes on. Please quit bleeping out the cuss words on ESPN Plus. Yes. How irritating is that? Extremely. Where you can't even hear the shit talk because it just goes silent for a few seconds. One of the most frustrating things about paying for a membership and not getting the content that we deserve. Like, we're all grown-ass adults. Like, we can listen to a few cuss words on a app that you have to, independently pay for. I get the ESPN thing, but the ESPN Plus thing is stupid. But to get back to Kevin Holland, man, He was trying to get in Brunson's head, but Brunson was strong-willed. Brunson didn't say anything back. Did you notice that? Mm-hmm. All 5 rounds.
Dude, and the entire time you thought, like, there was times when Brunson was on top of him, just pounding away. Fucking left hook here, right hand there, freaking elbow there. And Kevin Holland's like, man, you ain't got shit. That's fucking pussy shit, man. You ain't got shit, nothing behind those. You ain't doing nothing to me, boy. You ain't got nothing. He's just talking shit constantly. And it was, I'm going to mention this. It was bugging me. Not because Kevin Holland was talking shit, it's because the commentators, and more specifically Michael Bisping himself, was like, dude, just stop. Stop talking shit and take this seriously. And I'm like, do you think he's not taking it seriously?
Yeah, you're in a firefight with another guy. You don't think he's taking this seriously?
He's obviously taking it seriously. I guess he's not trying to just do nothing. He's not just sitting there. He's not just in there to just talk shit. Obviously, he's going for the knockout. It's just he's just getting beat by a better man. And it's just that's the way he is. So it really bugged me. And I had to go on Twitter and be like, man, will Bisping just shut the fuck up and just enjoy the show?
And I literally said that verbatim watching it live. I was like, Bisping, just shut the fuck up. And I get it to a certain extent what Bisping is talking about, but like, dude, that's his style. That's what Kevin Holland has always been known to do. This isn't some new thing that he just did this week. This is his vibe. This is who he is as a fighter. I mean, I use this off air as an example. Dominic Cruz, the most serious man on the face of the planet when it comes to fighting. I mean, he has literally commentated and has literally said on air that, like, no, you shouldn't be joking around like Joe Rogan and DC. You shouldn't. You should be taking this seriously. You shouldn't have any fun. It's a job. But that's his perspective. That's the way he looks at the sport, and I respect that.
Yeah.
The same way I respect the way that Kevin Holland enjoys getting in people's head, talking a little shit to get him motivated. Now, did it work in this scenario? No, it didn't.
And it won't every time.
That doesn't mean you abandon it as a fighter, and you don't abandon who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, what if someone went up to Bisping after the Henderson knockout and with Bisping, that shit talk just didn't work. You got to stop and take it seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
He would punch whoever said that in the face and go, do you think I wasn't trying to fucking go for the knockout?
Right.
You think I wasn't trying to do this shit? And that's what really bugged me is they just made it seem like Kevin was just in there going, I don't care. Just kick my ass. I'm getting paid. Who gives a fuck? I got all this hype in the world. And it's like, no. He was trying. I mean, you remember when he went back to his corner after the 4th round? He goes, "Fuck, man, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying my best, but man, this is fucked." He pretty much said that to his corner.
Yeah, he did.
It was just crazy. It's just crazy to think. I mean, Kevin Holland's pretty much come out and said, "I'm never going to change." So all those haters out there, just bye.
Good. And that's how Kevin Holland should approach this.
Yes.
And who's to say, like, really, who's to say based on his gameplay that, as you just brought up, and I'm just reiterating it, to say that he's not taking it seriously. You are standing across an octagon from someone who does not like you at all and who literally wants to take your head off and literally put you unconscious.
Yeah.
So to say that he's not taking
damage.
it serious is a joke.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a joke. And like let's give a little respect to these guys, these fighters who talk shit and have a different game plan than you. That's just wild to me that they thought he wasn't taking that fight serious.
Yeah, it bugged me, dude. It really bugged me. And I know I'm a Kevin Holland fanboy. I'm a Kevin Holland dick rider, blah, blah, blah. Call me all that shit in the comments, guys, because it's the truth. I am. He's one of my favorite fighters. I've loved this guy since the very beginning, dude. I gravitate towards him, and that's why he has the hype. Yes. Now you're asking the guy to just stop. Stop doing what made you popular. Stop doing what gave you the hype in the first place. Stop doing what gave you this main event.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous, dude. It's absolutely ridiculous. Kevin Holland's getting so much shit for just being himself.
Yeah.
And I don't like that at all.
And the thing was, did the game plan work? No, it didn't. I think Kevin Holland probably should have worked a little bit more on his takedown defense because it was easy for Brunson. I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. Majority of the time Brunson went for a takedown, he got it. Yeah. Right? And so it becomes one of these things where it's like at all costs separate. And that's what Kevin Holland didn't do. And to critique his fighting is one thing. To critique his character is a different. So I'm just talking about pure fighting right now. Mm-hmm. When those moments in the 4th and 5th round, when he's in the clinch, I kept saying, what are you doing? Separate. He's going for the takedown. But again, it didn't pan out that way. But that doesn't mean Kevin Holland doesn't have what it takes, to be a great fighter. I mean, he won 5 fights in 2020. Okay, he lost one. Whoop-de-doo. Did you see what Dana White said?
No, what did he say?
Dana White said he had a mental breakdown.
Dana did?
Yes. That's what I saw on MMAnews.com.
Over him talking all this shit?
Yes.
You just couldn't handle it?
Yes.
Loudmouth came back.
Yep.
He didn't like it. So it's okay. It's okay. Not everybody's going to like it. I mean, there's a reason why he's getting so much shit. It's just people have different preferences, I guess. It's hard. It's like you can't just ask a guy to not be himself.
Yeah. And not only that, dude, I am not joking. Had it not been for the shit talk, I'm not seriously. When he was shit
Please
talking
say what
in
I
the
think you're
first
gonna
and second
say.
round, it would have been the most boring fight ever.
Yes!
It would have. It would have been the most boring fight ever, dude. I was standing on my feet in the living room watching this on my television. Like, come on, Kevin.
Yes.
Come on, Kevin. There's something as you brought up perfectly. You gravitate towards Kevin Holland. There's something unique and special about this kid.
Yes.
There really is. And I love watching him fight. I love, dude, I turned the TV up to almost 100 because, for the parts that ESPN wasn't fucking blocking out, I was listening and being like, what is he saying? What is he saying? That's a unique thing in the sport where you literally just want the commentators to shut up so you can listen to what Kevin Holland has to say.
If they made Derek Brunson versus Jack Hermanson, no offense to either of those guys, I mean, I have so much respect for both of them, but I would not watch that fight. I mean, obviously I would. I do a podcast, blah blah blah. But am I gonna go out of my fucking way to make sure? Oh my God, this fight's on. No. I'm sorry, Derek Brunson, but it's sometimes I'd rather watch flies fuck.
It's a weird analogy, but hey, let's roll with it.
I'd rather watch flies fuck than watch a Derek Brunson main event. I'm sorry. I have so much respect for this guy. He is a killer in this division.
Yes.
He is without a doubt a top 5 middleweight, and he is a title contender. He is no gatekeeper.
And that's the thing, too. People got to start putting some respect on Derek Brunson's name.
Yes.
Let's talk about Derek Brunson now, because let's transition over to Derek, because what Derek was able to do was so impressive and is just a testament to what he's been saying all along. This guy is a top contender in this middleweight division. People need to start putting some respect on him, and he needs a top 5 guy after dismantling Kevin Holland the way he did in literally perfecting the game plan.
You want to talk about the call out?
Let's talk about the call out.
I fucking love the call. I called out Paulo Costa. We all know he fell out of that last fight. We'll talk more about that in MMA news with Robert Whitaker. So Paulo needs a fight.
Yeah, he does.
I think that's a good matchup. Am I gonna, like I just said, be clamoring, going, ooh, fuck, I can't wait. I can't wait to watch this fight. Probably not. But I'm going to watch it, and it's a very interesting matchup. You just don't know how Paulo can handle that wrestling takedown pressure, what he can do off his back if he does get there. Supposedly, he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. I don't know who gave that guy his black belt, but that guy needs to be slapped, in my opinion. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
And I want to bring up that matchup too. It is literally the perfect matchup. Paulo Costa coming off that embarrassing loss, now getting pulled from this fight. Brunson deserves a top 5 guy. And I mean, let's look. Robert Whitaker was about to fight Paulo Costa, and now Brunson, slides into that. Yeah, slides right into that spot. It works perfect. And again, another shout out to Derek Brunson. Not only did you go out there, dominate, and perfect your game plan, but then you had the perfect call out. This is what fighters need to emulate. This is what they need to copy. Yes. I mean, use a copy and paste here, because Derek Brunson is a savvy vet who knows exactly where he wants to be in this middleweight division. That's a perfect matchup. Yeah, I don't think anyone's like, oh yeah, I don't want to see that fight. I am so interested in that fight.
Yeah, me as well.
That's the perfect fight right there.
I think it's the only one to make. I mean, who else? I mean, you got Vettori and Till fighting each other. I mean, the winner of that fight, maybe, but I feel like the winner of that fight might get a title shot, especially if Vettori wins.
And here's the thing. Derek Brunson didn't take any damage really in this fight. I mean, he did get caught once or twice, but I mean, significant damage, right?
Yeah, I think he got dropped, once in the 5th? And that was it.
And Paulo Costa needs a fight. You make this fight in June, July, give him a couple months. I mean, this is perfect. This is just what we need. This can co-main on a
big pay-per-view. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I'd be super stoked for it. So
great
call out.
Yeah, before we move on, I got to bring up Kevin Holland one more time. I mean, he's such a small guy. Like, for 185, he doesn't cut weight. He weighed in at 183, I believe. So, I mean, he says he walks around 190. I think he's pulling our leg a little bit there. I think maybe he walks around right around 185, 187, 186.
Well, he weighed in at 183.
Yeah, so I love the fact that he doesn't want to cut weight, because I do think that's something that more guys need to do, because when you're fighting at your natural weight class, I mean, you could still go out and fucking knock out anybody. He knocked out Jacare, who was just fighting at 205. So he's got the power and it translates. But in this certain situation, the way that Derek Brunson was just so much stronger in the clinch and so much more dominant on the ground, I don't know if Kevin Holland does well with wrestlers at 185. Yeah. So I really think he'll find his most success at 170 if he does start cutting weight again. He says he can make 170 easy. It just, it takes 3 weeks of dieting and having a nutritionist and stuff like that.
And since we're bringing this up now, this will not be an MMA news portion. Let's just make it a recap portion, because we are dealing with Kevin Holland here, and we got enough for MMA news. Kevin Holland literally came out just a few hours ago and said that he does want to try to get with a nutritionist and drop down to 170.
Fantastic.
Right? Did you see who he called out at 170?
Hamza Chimaev?
No, even better. Bilal, remember the name Muhammad.
Ooh.
Imagine his fight going down to 170. That's the perfect matchup because you know what? Bilal, remember the name Muhammad, got the short end of the stick against Leon Edwards, right? And we know that fight is not going to be rematched, and Bilal wanted a main event. You put Kevin Holland and Bilal, remember the name Muhammad, on a fight night main event?
Sign me up.
Sign me up.
Sign me up, dude. The shit talk in the press conferences.
Yeah.
Dude, that
So
gets
much
me
fun.
high. I'm hyped already. That's a fight, dude,
Yeah.
because Bilal, remember the name, deserves a main event. Kevin Holland, he's a main event fighter now. I think he is. You know, I would love to see the analytics, but I think most of the people came into this last weekend's fight for Kevin.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, I tuned in for Kevin.
Yep.
Kevin's my guy, so I think you get eyeballs regardless. It doesn't matter who at 170 really you match him up with, but I agree, dude. Why not? Bilal's perfect. He's perfect. You don't have to give him a top 5 matchup right away. You don't have to give him a top 10.
No.
But Bilal Muhammad, I love it, dude.
And there's no one right now who deserves a big fight like that more than Bilal, remember the name Muhammad,
Absolutely.
based on his circumstances against Leon Edwards. Because you know Leon doesn't want that fight. Leon has openly talked, saying, well, we're not going to do that rematch. That rematch ain't happening. But Bilal deserves something.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he was the one who got poked in the eye. Let's get him a big fight. Kevin Holland, that's a big fight.
That's a big fight.
Sign me up for that, man. As a fan, I'm all in. So,
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely. That's a great matchup, Mason. So let's hope he does, because nothing would make me happier than to see Kevin move down to 170, especially if he could do it safely and he isn't killing himself making weight. So, I mean, the problem is, you know, if you listen to Kevin Holland on the JRE podcast, he's like, man, I don't even like to train hard. He goes, I don't like training hard. If I have to, I'll do my shit and then I want to go home. He goes, I don't want to train hard. I don't want to have to diet. I want to eat whatever the fuck I want and go relax on the couch. And it's like, man, how are you so good?
I know. It's kind of crazy, man. But you know who else kind of does that? Kind of their style. When you know they probably train really hard. That's Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis does that sometimes where he's like, yeah, man, I don't like cardio or I don't like this. And you're like, how the hell are you so successful? They train hard.
Yeah.
That's kind of their shtick. You know what I mean? Like they're pretending to kind of put the guard down to their opponent. It's actually a really smart
move. Is.
And it's actually a tactic used in the art of war. So, you know, I get it. It's all mental war games.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on to our picks. I put 500 on my guy, Kevin Holland. It didn't work out. I'm kind of glad I didn't go more because I was really about to drop like 1,000 on him. I'm really glad I didn't.
Yeah. I put 200 on Brunson. So I won 350. Only win of the night, might I add.
Yeah, at least you got one.
Yep.
At least you got one. All right, moving on to the co-main event of the evening, Song Kanan versus Max Payne Griffin. Oh,
Due
my
to
goodness.
the Gregor Gillespie, Brad Riddell fight getting pulled because of COVID-19 protocol.
So I saw that, but they didn't say like who tested positive
No, they didn't.
or what. So
it might have just been a team member or something, but there you are right. There wasn't a lot of information. I tried Googling it, reading a couple articles. I couldn't really see who exactly tested positive, but nonetheless, that co-main got pulled. So we did get the replacement of Song Kanan versus Max Griffin.
Yeah, which was a fantastic fight.
For as
might I
long as
add.
it lasted,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did not see Max Payne Griffin going out and being that aggressive, dude. That he was aggressive, going for the KO right off the bat.
Yeah, within the first like 45 seconds.
Yes,
and I think it kind of surprised Song Kanan.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I
It
don't
put him
think
on
he
his
expected that.
heels real quick, and
Yep.
he was like, "Oh fuck!" Now I'm counter fighting, and that's not what he wants to do.
Right. And we haven't seen a lot of fights from Song Kanan. I believe this is his second or third fight in the UFC. But what we did know is he had a first round knockout. This guy was the aggressive fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And as you just said, Max Griffin put him on his heels. And I think that kind of flustered
Mm-hmm.
Song Kanan. He wasn't used to being put in that kind of situation.
Absolutely.
And Max Griffin was able to capitalize in the first round with that knockout. And damn, that was impressive.
So, dude, the power that man has.
Jeez.
The power that man has. It's so impressive, and people just forget about Max Payne. I mean, I did it myself.
Right.
I mean, I've seen this man fight top contenders, like future of the sport, future champions, they say, and he fucking goes out and smokes them sometimes. So it's just super impressive. Like, just like Derek Brunson, people need to start putting some respect on Max Payne Griffin's name.
Including
dude.
us.
Including us,
Because
right,
we
yeah.
both picked Song Kanan on his second or third fight in the UFC. But hey, Max Griffin, I'm not sleeping on you no more. Tell you that much.
Did we not pick this fight?
No, we did.
Oh, it is. It's at the bottom.
We
Okay, that was
both
weird.
picked Kanan.
Yeah, so I put 300 church coin on Kanan. Fuck.
Yep. I put 200 on Kanan and also lost that. It was
a rough night. It was a
rough night for some church coin bets. We both lost church coin in this fight card.
Yeah. So let's just move on to the next fight. Adrian Yanez and Gustavo Lopez.
Yeah.
This was a fight I did not watch, Mason, but I did see the KO, and that was a very impressive KO. But you said Yanez was looking fantastic the entire time?
Yeah, the entire fight, man. He looked really good. The first round was a high-paced, high-energy fight. I was like, how are these guys going to do this for rounds 2 and 3? And they absolutely did. Yanez caught Lopez. I thought for sure, and in testament to how tough Lopez is, because, man, I thought for sure when he caught him in that second round that the fight was going to be over, and somehow he survived. But in the third round, that was just too much. It was too much. He had got caught too many times. Yanez landed too many times, and then boom, it was over. But great fight. Honestly, this I wonder, I didn't look it up, but this might have won fight of the night. Because I guarantee these guys got a bonus for that, because it was a fun, entertaining fight.
Yeah, the knockout was fucking fantastic, dude. Yanez has got ridiculous power.
Oh, for sure.
Ridiculous power.
Fast, too. Speed, dude. The speed on that guy.
Yeah. Put 100 church coin on Lopez, and I should have stuck with Yanez, dude, because I was saying I had Yanez at the beginning, and I was like, he's a plus 200? I was like, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Doesn't all work out.
I put 200 on Lopez and lost that as well. So.
Okay. To open up the card, Tai Tuivasa Bam Bam was back.
Versus Harry Hunsucker. Now, last week we had picked this fight.
I'm sorry.
Did I get that wrong?
No, I just can't do that name, dude. Hunsucker.
Come here, Hun. Shit, did I read that wrong? No. I got these fucking dorky red glasses on.
So you definitely read it right.
Did I read that right?
No, you definitely read it.
No. Originally, it was supposed to be Mays that he was fighting here. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a COVID-19 protocol. That would be my best guess, maybe an injury. But nonetheless, late call. Harry Hunsucker got in there, and it didn't last long. No. Tai Tuivasa coming out, throwing hands, and in under a minute knocked him out.
He's got so much power, dude. I mean, that fucking Samoan strength is there, dude. It's there. I think he's Samoan, right?
No, he's
not Samoan.
No,
That's
he's
right.
He's New Zealand. Yeah, he's doing a shoey and stuff.
Him?
He's known for a shoey.
I don't know.
I don't remember what they call him.
No, dude, he's a fucking.
He's got a warrior
athlete,
spirit.
Dude. Yes, he's a freak athlete, dude. Those people have so much fucking natural gifted power. You look at the guy and he's like fluffy. It's fluffy. You're like, oh, that guy's got fucking no muscle, and then you realize, no, there's a thin layer of fluff, and then he's jacked under that.
Absolutely, and you see that when he throws with reckless abandonment, man. Yeah. I mean, when he throws, you're just like, God, I would never want to get caught with something like that.
No, dude, he has so much ridiculous natural power, dude. No one wants to fuck with that.
He was able to showcase that Saturday night.
Scary power. A poor Hunsucker, dude. It did not go well for the guy.
So we had initially bet on the Tai Tuivasa versus Mays fight, but due to Hunsucker, you had only put 100 on Tai Tuivasa. So had you had won, you would have won like less than 25 church coin anyway. Yeah. So we're just calling it a push. Because I bet on Mays. I definitely didn't bet on Hunsucker, so we'll just move forward on that.
I can't get over that name, Hunsucker.
Hunsucker, USA. Why buy a No.
Okay.
There you go.
MMA news time, Mason. There was a lot that happened. And it's kind of weird because I almost got lost just looking through this MMA news this last week because I was like thinking of all this shit we had to put down. But we have to start with this because this was the first thing announced. UFC 261 main event. We all thought it was going to be Rose Namajunas and Zhang or the Shevchenko fight. Oh, no.
How about all three?
Oh, no, baby.
How about all three? Are you kidding me or what?
Usman?
UFC. What is Dana White doing here? Dana White has gone completely bananas this year and has put together some of the craziest pay-per-views. I mean, dude, do you remember it was like such a big deal when we would get 3 title fights on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was like a once-a-year thing.
Oh, yeah, and sometimes not even once a year. It'd be like once every 2, once every 3 years, and we're like, oh my God, 3 title fights. What the fuck? We're in March.
Yeah.
I mean, by the time this goes around, it'll be April, okay? But still, 2 pay-per-view cards with 3 title fights on it?
Yeah, and
what are we doing here?
And look who's the main event is. Usman versus Masvidal too. Now we'll talk about whether that fight's deserved, but it's like 3 title fights is still. And Usman just fought 2 months ago?
Yeah, he did.
2 months ago? Fucking savage.
But here's the thing. I mean, Kamaru Usman goes, "Oh, I got to fight Jorge Masvidal." Yeah, okay, I'll take that in 8 weeks.
After not taking any damage from Gilbert.
Did you guys see the scorecard from the last time I took on Jorge Masvidal? Oh yeah, that's right. What was it, like 50-43? So I'm just going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to literally take him down for 5 rounds, beat on him,
stomp him,
and we'll move forward. And then maybe I might match up against someone like Leon Edwards or Colby Covington, the 2 that probably deserve it a lot more than Jorge Masvidal.
Oh, dude, if anyone,
do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, dude, if anyone deserved the rematch before Masvidal, it's Colby.
That was such a fun fight.
Fantastic fight. Fight of the year 2019.
Yeah, love him or hate him. That fight was incredible. Colby deserved this rematch far before Jorge Masvidal.
Absolutely.
But come on, man. What are we doing here?
It's money.
I know. It's me. Fucking Scrooge McDuck.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We know, Dana. We know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But regardless, it's a fucking absolutely stacked card.
Oh my God.
Dude,
Yeah.
my fight is Whaley and Rose, dude. Like, that's the only fight I really care about. Like, I'm so fucking jacked on that for that fight, dude. I cannot wait. I feel like this is Whaley and Joanna all over again. They put that on a fucking ridiculously stacked card, and that's like the only fight I care about.
Yeah.
It's the only fight I care about.
Well, dude, but I mean, come on now. We know how dominant Valentina Shevchenko has been, but Jessica Andrade.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one, too.
This is going to be an incredible card, man. I mean, the main event will be lackluster because obviously we already know what's going to happen. But we have two really tight-knit title fights in both championship women who are insanely good, Weili Zhang and Valentina Shevchenko. And the contenders here are actually like contenders.
True number one contenders.
True number one contenders. I love this card, man.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about this. You know, not just the pay-per-view, but you'll also have Anthony Smith versus Jimmy Crute. Jimmy Crute has looked really impressive as of late, man.
Yeah.
Those first-round knockouts. I'm super excited for this card, dude. Saturday, April 24th in Jacksonville, Florida.
In front of a sold-out crowd, possibly 15,000 people in the
yeah.
Memorial Stadium. So, and we know it's not fucking, it's not the Rose Quarters.
No.
You know, it's not the big stadium, but that's a good start.
Still,
you
it is a
have
good
to
start.
start. I mean, this will be the first event back with a crowd, dude. I am jacked.
It's about time, man. Who would have ever thought that, you know, we were looking at March last year that we'd be doing this for 18 months?
Oh, I knew it. I'm going to be 100% honest.
but
I knew it.
It's still rough. It's still hard
It does
for me
suck.
to
It does
accept.
suck because I don't want to be right. But I was.
And it always takes that one company, it always takes that one state to kind of break those barriers and try to get things back to normal. And that's what they're doing here. 15,000 people are going to go watch this fight. And what a spectacle this will be.
I can't wait.
Wouldn't
I
you
want
love
to
to
go.
just be a fly on the wall?
Fuck, right. Dude, I would love to just be a millionaire
What
already
do
and
you
just fly down to Jacksonville on a wind's notice and just go.
Would that be nice? If we
so
could get
nice.
press passes one day, that'd be so cool.
That'd be so sweet.
Like the schmo, are you kidding
So
me?
fucking sweet. I can't wait. Yeah, sold out crowd in front of Jacksonville. How long do we wait until Luke Thomas goes, they're fucking killing people in Florida?
I can guarantee you on his podcast, he's already doing it. He's like, I'm in New York in my penthouse, and I hate everyone in this organization.
Dana White is going to murder people in Florida, even though they've been open for 4 months now.
Yeah, super spreader event. You'll hear all of it.
Yeah, it's going to be all the talking points in the world.
But again, it's like at some point, like how many years are we going to go through until we can finally just, have fights? And now we're getting it. So
Well, if it was up to some people, it'd never start. Yeah. Let's move on. So this one, I guess this is good news. It's kind of something we already knew.
Well, it's news. I really wanted to see Habib Nurmagomedov go 30-0, but it was just recently announced that Habib has officially retired again. You know what I mean?
right?
It's like, how many times has this guy got to retire?
Dana's
But,
like, please, we'll do another dinner in a month.
And I think it's finally finalized when Dana White posts, okay, it's official, 29-0. Thank you, Habib Nurmagomedov. And then right after Habib retires. And you know what? Shout out to Habib, greatest of all time. It's been a pleasure watching all your fights and just how dominant you were. You are obviously a Hall of Famer, duh.
Greatest lightweight of all time or just greatest all time period?
Man, it's
do
really,
that debate?
Again.
I know.
It's
I've
really-
kind of
it's
changed
really
my.
hard, man.
I kind of changed my mind a little bit on that because I was so like at the time I was like, yeah, Habib's the greatest. Like, let's just give it to him. His dad died. Blah blah blah. But it's like now it's like, and how many times did he defend the title again?
But here, yeah, and I get that. But here's the thing: you have to look at the course of his career. There is no one who's perfected a career quite like Habib. So when you look at GOAT, the greatest of all time, you have to go through the course of someone's career. I mean, this guy didn't get knocked down, didn't lose a round, really. I mean, yeah, I guess he did. He did lose a round, but.
I
That's
guess.
it. I guess. If that's
like
what
people
you want to call it. Right.
I mean, that's a debatable round in my opinion.
No, it definitely is.
Yeah.
No, of
Right,
course.
with
yeah.
Connor. It's like
but
the
I mean,
one
if you want to
round.
look at the technicality and the debate there, but nonetheless, you look at the course of his career and everything he has done, it is literally the perfect career.
Yeah, Demetrius Johnson is going, am I a fucking joke?
I know.
Am I a joke to you?
Yeah.
13 title defenses in a row or something like that.
I know. And that's, that's the thing too. Like you do kind of have to look at it, and it's kind of hard in this sport, like any other sport, where you go, oh, this is the greatest of all time, because you have the greatest of all times in eras, and you have the greatest of all time in weight classes as well, right? In these divisions.
Yeah. And it's hard to argue with the fact, like, hey, he's got an O. Name another guy with an O that has done what he has done, and you can't. Yeah. So, I mean, that's a real tough argument to make. I think he's, without a doubt, top 3 greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Period. It's this GOAT debate's just so hard. It's so hard, like we say every time.
It's an impossible debate because, you can bring up people like Demetrius Johnson. I go, yeah, he's one of the GOATs. You look up John Jones, unquestionably one of the GOATs. So
GSP,
it's like GSP, of course. Yeah, one of the GOATs. There's too many to name. Especially for that era. I mean, the way GSP just blew through the welterweight division and then goes up to middleweight and wins that belt. What a career GSP had as well. So, you look at these guys, and I think we can all kind of definitively say they're GOATs in different divisions. Yeah. And you can't really say greatest of all time, period, all weight classes. So we kind of just have fun with it, do the whole pound for pound thing. But it is, you can make an argument for any one of these fighters at any time.
You really can.
But we got to talk about the lightweight division.
We got to talk about it. I mean, now that he's gone, I mean, we have a fucking vacant championship fight made.
We do.
And it's going to be in May. We have Chandler versus Oliveira. Was this the fight to make, Mason?
Okay, what a loaded question. Okay, so let me just jump into this real quick. So obviously, Dustin Poirier, I believe, deserved the shot over Michael Chandler against Charles Oliveira. However, Dustin Poirier, according to my understanding, and I think a lot of other people's understanding, he's going to take that Conor McGregor fight because 1, he wanted the money, and 2, he wanted the trilogy, okay? So if Dustin does not feel slighted by this and that he made the decision knowing that he's not fighting for the belt, I'm all on board, okay? Because as long as the fighter doesn't feel like he gets screwed over, because let's be honest here, Dustin Poirier deserves a next shot at the lightweight belt.
Yes.
No questions asked.
Period.
But if he decided to take that third trilogy fight with Conor, then we have to look at that and go, okay, now who are the next 2 best? This is where Justin Gaethje comes into play. Michael Chandler has won 1 fight in the UFC, though very dominant and very impressive, and finished a guy in Dan Hooker that a lot of great fighters have not been able to finish. This is tricky for me. If I was, Sean Shelby and Dana White, and I was setting up matchmaking, my ideal matchup would be Dustin versus Charles, but because Dustin's fighting Conor, my next one would be Justin Gaethje versus Charles Oliveira.
Would you be okay with just giving Gaethje the shot even after the loss to Habib, I guess? Or should he come back and fight one more time?
I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. Everyone's lost. Tell me everyone has lost against Habib. Every great lightweight has outside of Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler. So I guess maybe that's why they're setting this fight up. Do I hate this fight? Am I pissed off at the UFC for making it? No, of course not.
No.
Of course not. This is going to be a great fight, and I think it's a great fight to make. But my question remains: where does Justin Gaethje fit into this now?
Yeah, because I mean, he came out and said that what the fuck? I thought I was going to main event like a fight night with Chandler. He goes, it just blindsided him. He's like, I guess whatever. I guess I'm still training. Who wants it?
Yeah, because he thought he was going to fight May 15th or whatever. And dude, Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje.
Oh my fucking God.
Barn burner that would have been. Are you kidding me?
That's probably, I mean, maybe that's what they got. That's what they got. We were all saying that Conor versus Dustin 3 was going to happen maybe on this pay-per-view. Now it's not happening. So now we have a vacant lightweight title fight. Now maybe Conor versus Dustin July, I'd say, is probably the best
international
bet.
Fight week.
International fight week, maybe in front of a crowd, which would be sweet.
That'd be sweet.
It'd be super sweet.
Hell yeah, dude.
So, that's probably happening. I mean, is that too long of a wait for a Dustin next title shot if he gets the win? Or do they do a Justin Gaethje versus the winner of Oliveira and Chandler? They have so many options right now.
Yeah, they have so many really options. Do, man. They really do. And that's kind of the thing. For Justin, I do feel bad.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I just don't know who you give him. I mean, I know this is a different piece of news, but it's obviously not Tony Ferguson, right? So, you literally have no one else here on this list. Dustin's got to fight against Conor. Charles has got to fight against Michael Chandler. Tony's got to fight against Dariush.
On that same card.
Yep. So, it's like, Dan Hooker's coming off a loss. Rafael Dos Anjos. That would be the only matchup.
He wants to fight Islam.
Makhachev, yeah.
And then, Islam gets that fucking win. He's going to be right up in title contention as well.
Exactly. And what did RDA say? He said, hey, I'll make a deal with you, Islam. He goes, I'll fight you, but under the condition that when I beat you, I get Habib, which I love that. I love that call out. That was such a smart call out on RDA. But RDA, and I am not saying this in the way the way that I say it. I just don't know how else to phrase it, because RDA is unquestionably a contender. He's not like some vet that's past his prime at all. I do 100%. Not want that I don't want that to get misinterpreted. But you see all these great champions and all these people who have fought for the belt. You have to go through RDA.
Yeah.
You have to. And I'm not calling him a gatekeeper and saying that he can't fight for a belt, because he absolutely still can. Well, but he is the path to gold.
He's a fantastic measuring stick.
Yes.
To see exactly where you fit into this division.
Yes.
I mean, he's a fantastic fight. It really, you match RDA up against anybody. It's a great fight. I love the guy. Let's move on to another fight that is on the same card, and I think it's noteworthy. Jack Hermansson and Edmund Shabazian is going to be on UFC 262.
I love that.
I love that matchup.
Both coming off losses too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I really like this matchup. And that's just what's so fun about this sport these days, man, is there's so many incredible matchups. Like every single time a fight gets announced, I'm like, damn, that was a really good matchup. I love this fight. I love that fight. We just skimmed over Tony Ferguson against Beneil Dariush.
He's going to be on that card. God, that's a great fucking fight, dude. That's a great fight.
Scary fight, because Dariush has looked great,
fantastic
as of late.
Yeah, and he's got the ground game to match.
He does.
Dude, that's a fight. I hope it goes down to the ground immediately, because I cannot wait to see what happens. I want to see those jiu-jitsu transitions. Just the jiu-jitsu display that could happen in that fight is fantastic, and just watch, they'll stand and bang.
Yeah, I know. And, hey, but I'm all for that
I'm all for it too, yeah.
Because Ferguson's one tough cookie, and then you got the power in Dariush. Yeah. Hey, I like it. I love that matchup.
I love that card.
Going back to Hermansson and Shabazian too, man. That's a great matchup. Where do you see that fight taking place? Do you think that's going to take place on the match, or you think this is going to be stand up and bang?
Ooh, probably.
Because it's kind of hard.
It's kind of hard to determine. It's another one, dude, because Hermansson, you don't want to go down to the ground with Hermansson, but Shabazian's got fantastic jiu-jitsu as well.
You saw that against Kelvin Gastelum with that leg lock. Or the heel hook, whatever it was. It was a submission nonetheless.
That's not where you want to be with Jack. You do not want to be in that 50-50 position, because the chances of him getting that heel hook is fucking probably good. Yeah, he's like a Ryan Hall in that situation, so you don't want to fuck with that. Another big thing before we move from 262, I mean, dude, this will be happening in Texas. Texas did just open up 100% not too long ago. It was in the news. I'm sure everybody's heard. It's going to be in Houston, and it will have a crowd. So Toyota Center sold out, 20, 30,000 people. It's fucking awesome. Sign me up,
yeah, dude. For real.
Sign me up. All right, moving on to some other news. Paulo Costa, we did talk about this earlier. Paulo Costa is out of the main event with Robert Whittaker. Supposedly it was flu-like symptoms. It was not Rona, but just because he got sick and then he can't train for probably a week because of it, and he's such a big fuck. Like, he is fucking gorilla.
Takes him a while to cut that weight.
He's a fucking gorilla, dude.
I still don't know how this dude makes 185.
Dude, he walks around at 230.
It's insane.
Dude, it's like, what? You're cutting down to 185. Bro. He's just killing himself. So I understand. Like, you got to take a week off. You're not making that. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's 6 to I think it was like 5 weeks out at the time. It's like you're gonna drop out 5 weeks out. Yeah. I guess. Yeah, he needs it to cut weight. So it's understandable. But we got to talk about this. Kelvin Gastelum stepping in on short notice.
And I love this too, because 2 years ago, this was the fight to make. Literally the day of the fight, we got 2 years ago when these two were matched up, we got word for a world title, mind you. Yeah, absolutely. Robert Whittaker had to pull out because of a sports hernia that was absolutely killing him. And that was dangerous. And Robert Whittaker got some flack for that, and it pissed me off.
Dude, he wanted to fight.
Yeah. He went to fight with a hernia.
Yeah, and if he got kicked, he would have died.
Yeah, that requires like real surgery.
Yeah, he would have. They said if you go out and fight, you will die.
Well, dude,
and he's like, I don't care.
Yeah, that's called a savage. Yeah. And dude, like people were giving him a little flack online. I'm like, just shut up, guys. You wouldn't even get in an octagon to begin with, so shut the fuck up. Like, I don't care about your stupid opinions. But nonetheless, he was going to get in there. He was going to fight. But a body kick or a body shot, man.
All it takes.
That's all it takes, and he could never fight again. But we're finally getting this matchup. And this is the perfect replacement. This is the perfect replacement for Paulo Acosta. Mm-hmm. And it's a fight that I think still makes sense because Kelvin Gastelum recently coming off that win. So I like this, man. And it's still kind of a contender fight. And Robert Whittaker, man, what do we do if he wins this fight?
He's got to get a title shot.
He's
got to get the Izzy 2
at some
fight.
Point.
I mean, no offense to Robert Whittaker. I think Izzy smokes him probably again.
Yeah, I think Whitaker was dealing with some shit, man. I think it'll be I'm not saying that Izzy won't win that fight, but what I am saying is it'll be a better competitive fight.
I hope
than
so.
It was last time around. I really do believe that.
I hope so, because it really should be an extremely competitive fight. I mean, Robert Whitaker, he was undefeated at middleweight.
Yeah.
And technically, other than Izzy, he hasn't lost. So, it's just, this is his obvious weight class, and he's fucking dominant. I don't know. I think Izzy's just that much better, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it, though. I'd love to see it. Who else for Izzy, really? There's not too much else right now. And, so, and since we're on Paulo Costa.
I like the Till Vittori winner.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But outside of that, yeah, there's not a lot that he hasn't fought and beaten, so.
I'm sorry, but if Till wins that fight and they choose Till for a title shot over Robert Whitaker, I will personally fly down to UFC offices in Vegas and streak their building.
Wow, okay. You're going to streak
heard it here
naked
first.
and just run across
just
the building?
ride across the building.
Hey, you know what?
But at least I'll be wearing a mask, so you guys got that.
That is true. That's the most important thing. Unquestionably.
Absolutely. So Brunson called out Costa. Do you think that's the fight they're going to make?
Dude, as we alluded to earlier in the preview or the recap show earlier, that's the fight I like. I think, again, Brunson had his T's crossed and his I's dotted when it came to winning the fight dominantly against Kevin Holland, succeeding in his game plan, and then he literally had the perfect call out ready to go. That's called a savvy vet right there.
Yep.
And I love the matchup. And it's the matchup that Derek Brunson deserves, man. He really deserves a top 5 guy, and Paulo Costa coming off that embarrassing loss to Israel Adesanya, I think this is the perfect matchup to make.
Yeah,
so
he definitely didn't deserve a number 1 contender fight, right? Like, what the fuck? Like, why even make that Whitaker fight? I get it. It's a good matchup, blah, 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 all the talking points, but it's like, no one wants that.
No, dude.
Make the guy build up. He got embarrassed completely. It's just, I don't understand some of these decisions.
And I got to be honest with you, I like the Robert Whitaker-Kelvin Gastelum fight better than I like the Robert Whitaker-Paulo Costa fight.
Yes, me too.
And I like this Brunson fight more than or the Paulo Costa-Brunson fight more than I did vice versa. So
yeah, I agree. 100%.
I like it. I think it all shook out, and this all makes sense to me.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to some other news. There were some more main events announced, and they're bangers, of course.
Oh my God, yeah.
Bangers, of course.
I love the UFC.
Got a little bit of a tournament going here in this UFC bantamweight division. Obviously, we're going to get the rematch with Aljo and Petr Yan, but these are legit number 1 contender fights.
Unquestionably.
Yep. Okay, first one set for May 8th. Corey Sandhagen and TJ Dillashaw.
I am so excited for this fight.
Yeah.
This was the perfect matchup to make. One, TJ Dillashaw taking over 2 years off in his career after testing positive or whatever for EPOs, right? After that whole Henry Cejudo debacle. Finally getting that opportunity to come back into the octagon. And he has got a savage killer in front of him.
Which is the fight to make, because you don't just give him an immediate title shot. Dude, he doesn't deserve that shit. I'm glad. If you want to give him a number 1 contender fight, good. This is it. Yep. This is it. This is the fight to make. But he did not deserve an immediate title shot. That's what he was calling for. I was calling him a clown the whole time he was asking for that. And I'm just glad that this is what happened, because this is the fight we deserve, dude. Yeah. This is the fight we deserve.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine if Corey Sandhagen went out and smoked
TJ
Dillashaw?
That would really make me a big Corey Sandhagen fan.
Dude, I'd have to be like, sorry, Aljo, but I might have to take Corey in this rematch, dude. We'll see.
And that's the thing that frustrates me too. I was a big TJ Dillashaw fan. I remember watching the Ultimate Fighter season with Cody Garbrandt, TJ, rooting for TJ, really wanting him to win, and then he does this shit and just disappoints the fuck out of me as a fan. And I know he don't give a fuck about me or the fans or anything, but so to see Corey Sandhagen and what he's been able to do and the way he was able to knock out Frankie Edgar, I'm really excited for this. And I'm telling you right now, if he takes out a number 1 contender in TJ Dillashaw, the man deserves the next title shot.
Yeah, he doesn't have to fight again.
No.
He doesn't have to fight again. I'm actually shocked that he's taking this fight, because you could argue he already deserves it.
You could, but man.
Marlon Moraes and then Frankie Edgar?
Yeah. Those are two savages.
But he's just such a beast that he's not going to not take the TJ Dillashaw fight.
And you know what? He wants this fight. He wants this fight. Former teammates. He don't like TJ. He knows he's a cheater. He's already talking shit. Come on, man. Come on. This is the fight that Corey knows he can win. And this puts Corey Sandhagen on the map that he has never really truly been on with the casuals before. When he goes out there and if he beats TJ Dillashaw and he does it in impressive fashion, that his name is put on that grand scale map where everyone's going to start recognizing Corey Sandhagen. I think Frankie Edgar was the great stepping stone, but then he goes out there and defeats TJ Dillashaw, back-to-back whammies and back-to-back savvy vets and former champions. This guy's going to be catapulted to this next stage of his career.
Absolutely.
So as Corey Sandhagen, this fight makes a lot of sense for his career. And this is the fight that you have to take, especially under the circumstances of the bantamweight division being held up because of this rematch that must take place between Aljamain Sterling and Petr Yan.
Yeah, that's probably the only reason why Corey took it. Like, let's be real. If fucking Yan beat Aljo, which was he was on his way to doing, or if Aljo went and choked out Yan, Corey's getting that next fight. He isn't taking this. So it all kind of fell into place.
It did. And under those circumstances, you're right. Corey Sandhagen would have got the next shot. He wouldn't have taken the fight against TJ Dillashaw, but because of this DQ, this whole situation that has to play itself out again, this is the perfect matchup for Corey, man.
Yeah.
The perfect matchup.
Yeah, it really is. 100% agree. So another main event that was announced, the second part of this little bantamweight tournament we got going is Rob Font versus Cody Garbrandt on May 22nd.
Dude, hey.
That's a banger.
This is a banger,
That's
folks.
a banger, dude.
And it's also another one of these guys like Rob Font who deserves a big fight like this, who deserves a former champion in Cody Garbrandt. And this is the big matchup to make, man. And I'm so happy for Rob. I really am. Because this is another guy who his career needs to get catapulted. This guy is a legit contender, and it's about time that people start recognizing him and putting some respect on his name.
Well, he finally got over that big hurdle, dude. He struggled his entire career. Once he got a big top 5 matchup, really, he just wasn't able to, I guess, pull the trigger or just get the win in general. I mean, he was struggling to get that big top 5 matchup win, and then he finally did it in such impressive fashion against Marlon Moraes, dude. I mean, the sky is the limit for Rob Font.
It really is.
It really is. And if you beat Cody Garbrandt, dude, you're in title shot contention.
Yep.
Maybe a loser of a Corey Sandhagen, TJ Dillashaw, or the loser of the next rematch title shot. Dude, he's set up.
Yo,
he set up big with this.
Unquestionably set up for this.
And, this could be, it's going to be a banger, I think, but this could be really, really technical. And we could see how good is Rob Font.
Yeah.
How good is his boxing against one of the most technical strikers in the entire division.
Yeah, and you're also looking at a more mature Cody Garbrandt. And I don't mean mature as personality being immature. I mean as a fighter. We know that Cody Garbrandt, especially against that Pedro Munoz fight, comes to mind. After getting in a firefight with TJ Dillashaw, getting caught twice, getting knocked out, and then he goes out there against Pedro Munoz and just reckless abandonment, just trying to get the KO, gets KO'd again. But then we saw kind of this resurgence in Cody's career, and he became a more technical and more smart fighter.
Yeah, well,
this is a great matchup because, as you said, Rob Font struggled a lot as well in his career, but has since then become more technical. So your analysis on this is spot on, man. This could be a really, really great fight.
Yeah, well, look at Cody's fucking last fight against RDA. I mean, not RDA,
Rafael dos Anjos?
No, that's lightweight. What the fuck? Am I totally spacing this guy's name? So disrespectful. Rafael Sansao. Fuck. Sansao. Dude, when the reach back KO, just the wing in it, the craziness. I mean, he was so technical and he was so calm. He was so precise in that fight. This is a rough matchup for Rob Font if that Cody Garbrandt shows up.
Absolutely.
But you know what? I can't wait. I just can't wait. It's a fantastic matchup.
We have some really, really great fights coming up, man.
Yeah.
I have never been as excited about this sport as I am this year. Dude, just banger after banger where you're just like, are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. And I saw this thing, and this was not in our notes, but I just want to bring it up just on a side note. I saw people complaining online. There was this post where it was like, oh, you got to pay for an ESPN Plus subscription, and then you have to get UFC Fight Pass, which you don't have to get. And then you got to pay for 16 pay-per-views a year. That adds up to $1,500. You wonder why people illegally stream? How else are you going to pay these fighters? First off. Second off, it's well worth it for me. Mm-hmm. I literally budget it because this sport means that much to me. And you have to. It has always been the pay-per-view model for any fights. Okay, we've been doing this in boxing for 60 years? 60, 70 years? This is just something that you do. I have no problem paying my hard-earned money to one, watch these men sacrifice themselves and literally put their life out there on the line. And two, for the betterment of the sport. I have no problem with that. I don't like the fact that some of these casual in-the-wind fans are complaining about having to pay for ESPN Plus and paying for pay-per-views. How else do you think these fighters are going to get paid?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't mind paying it all.
No,
I'm totally
neither do
cool
I.
with paying for all these pay-per-views. It's just the only thing where I go off the bandwagon a little bit with you is where I go, maybe the fighters need to be paid more, which is a completely separate conversation, right?
No.
It is a completely separate conversation.
But you know this as well. We've had a lot of conversations, and I totally am on the same boat as that.
Yeah.
You and I are on the same page as that. The fighters definitely need to get paid more. And it's kind of egregious in some ways because we broke it down a few months ago, but the percentages are just wild, where they get like less than 20% of everything.
all the revenue, yeah.
And we're talking about not the Conor McGregors here, but we're talking about your average run-of-the-mill fighter.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm totally cool with paying $65 per pay-per-view. Just promise me, UFC, that a little bit more of that goes to the fighters in the future.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
But, we're probably never going to get that, until the fighters unionize or something.
Yeah.
Like
But
that was the only time I really would say, go unionize.
I am hoping, though, with this new Venom deal in April, and I haven't looked at the logistics or the contracts. I haven't done my research or homework on this, but I really hope that they pay a little bit more in the percentages for when you buy individual fighters. Like, I'm dead serious, man. I don't give a fuck what company it is. If you are putting my likeness, like hypothetically, if I'm a fighter, right, and you are putting my likeness on a t-shirt, I should bare minimum be getting paid 30 to 35% for that, for you using my likeness, even if I'm a fighter in the UFC. I'm sorry. I just think that's fucked up.
Sugar Sean said, I think he got like fucking 5%
under the Reebok deal.
Under the Reebok deal for
I
those
don't know
t-shirts,
what
which was the
Venom
number
deal
one,
is.
which was the number one selling t-shirt, by the way.
Yeah, and that's robbery. That kind of shit should not happen in the organization, and that's where we can critique it on this podcast. But outside of that, again, just pay your fighters more and give them a bigger cut of the merch. Are you kidding me?
Give them a
That's
fucking
wild.
bigger pay-per-view cut.
Yeah,
something like
something. They got to get paid more. I mean, there's no other sport, maybe outside of football with CTE and stuff. I'll give them that you put your body out on the line more than mixed martial arts.
Well, they
and
say
boxing,
CTE is worse than soccer.
That's bonkers.
Right?
Yeah, that's
right.
wild.
Isn't that crazy?
That is wild, man.
So wild. I guess we have one more little item of MMA news, but we're gonna slide that into our preview show because it's worth. So preview show time.
Let's do it.
UFC 260. It's finally here. Francis Ngannou versus Stipe Miocic 2. Oh my fucking god.
Let's go.
Oh my god.
We have been waiting for this fight. And with so much anticipation, UFC 260. Oh, by the way, guys, we're doing a fight companion for that next week, so be sure to tune into that. It's going to be a great time as always. They're always like 3-4 hours, but they are so much fun. But dude, Stipe Miocic, the consensus greatest heavyweight of all time, with how he's been able to just run through this heavyweight division, winning the trilogy against arguably one of the greatest fighters in the world, DC. Now fighting Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou finally getting this rematch after knocking out everyone in the first round. Wow. Where do we begin with this?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I mean, there's so much fucking backstory into this. I feel like it's the same fight over again from the first fight. It's the same talking points. Francis is gonna go in there and KO him in one punch. He has the one punch KO power.
Yeah,
He's got the world's most powerful punch. It's like a fucking Volkswagen driving 100 miles an hour in you or some shit.
And it's true.
It's true. It's the crazy. When I first heard that shit, I was like, nah, that's not true. No, it's literally a 12-pound sledgehammer swung overhead as hard as you can. That's how much power this man has.
Yeah. And one of these days, I'm going to Photoshop Alistair Overeem's head in space, in orbit, as a joke, because wow. But yeah, man, again, same talking points as always. Stipe's game plan, we all know what it is. He doesn't want to, especially in the first round, he's not trying to sit there and trade shots with Francis Ngannou.
No.
I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. He's at a point in his career where he definitely wants to defend the belt against Francis Ngannou one last time.
And he's been knocked out several times before, so it's like he knows that I can't eat shots from this.
So
guy.
the biggest question here that remains, has Francis Ngannou worked on his takedown defense and has worked on being able to get up off his back? I think that's the biggest thing we see here. And has his clinch work improved?
Guess who's in his corner?
I have no idea who.
Kamaru Usman.
You're joking.
Nope.
That makes sense, though.
He has been working with Kamaru for this entire fight camp, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know, dude. It's because we all say about how, Francis' striking is so much better. He's evolved in so much. And then he goes out against fucking Rosenstrike and
11 seconds.
It's like the least amount of technique you could throw a punch with. Just doesn't give a shit.
Hulk smash, bro.
It's like,
that's
dude,
what it is.
If you're going to go in there and fucking just do that, like, why train? Why train? Why take all this time to do jiu-jitsu? Why take all this time to do defensive wrestling? Why? You're just going to go in there and just throw the most wild fucking retarded punches ever.
Oh, come on. But it works.
It works.
You can't deny it. The guy's got so much power.
It's ridiculous,
I mean,
dude.
we're looking at a human specimen. Like, he is a superhuman. That's what he is, dude. Like, superpower. Like, it's insane. But you are right. Like, you know, you're like, oh, yeah, he's working all this technique. You see these videos of
And
him,
then he
like,
just goes out there and
working
doesn't
with
care.
Mike Tyson. And then he just goes out there and just tries to knock you out in 10 seconds.
Dude, it's wild.
So, again, can Stipe capitalize on that? And is Ngannou going to do that again? Will Francis Ngannou be cool, calm, and collected and really try to pick his shots, choose and pick his shots because he is so worried about the takedown? Or is he going to go out there in the first 15 seconds, try to take Stipe's head off, and then Stipe takes him down, holds him down there for 4.5 minutes, understandably, kind of like he did last time. And then do we see a repeat of that for another 4 rounds?
That's the
biggest question.
That's it, dude. Like, that's the fight. That's the fight.
is.
I mean, because look at the way Stipe, just the head movement, the way he made Francis miss, dude. That was a god tier performance in the first fight.
Hey, hats off to Stipe. That is why he's a consensus greatest heavyweight of all time. I mean, what he was able to do against arguably the scariest man in the UFC for 5 rounds to dominate him the way that he did is something special that people have not been able to copy. I mean, dude, let's look at the fights since Stipe has done that. No one has copied that. They've all been knocked out in the first round.
Besides Derek Lewis,
Okay,
which was
that's true.
like, you almost don't even want to mention that
Good
fight
point.
because how fucking awful it was.
See, yeah, that fight, erased from the brain because that fight was just awful. And it was Ngannou. He was in a weird headspace. And dude, that was one of those things where both of them didn't want to get knocked out. So they ended up dancing. You know, I mean, I think that was more of a ballet than it was a fight.
That's a fight that I'm not very proud to say I was there for.
Yeah, you were. That's right. You were
Dude,
there for
I
that
was
fight.
so jacked. I was like, oh my God, I can't fucking wait.
And I'm serious. I cannot imagine being at that fight and being
man.
like, this might be the greatest heavyweight knockout of all time.
The greatest
To knock
matchup
out
of
our-
all time.
And then, dude, to dance around the octagon, my
I was
heart goes
pissed.
out to you. Yeah,
I was
guarantee
pissed.
it.
So, I
You
mean,
pay
well, the
your
whole
hard-earned
first
money.
round, I was like, guys, he's testing him out. Everyone's freaking out around me. I'm like, everybody just relax. You don't know how good of a matchup this is, how great this fight is. And no, dude, literally the entire stadium was doing the fucking wave instead of watching the fight.
That's so funny too, because I could definitely see you be like turning around
Yeah,
and
like,
the people
guys,
behind
like,
you, guys,
it's okay.
calm down, it's okay. This fight's gonna be awesome. And then by like rounds 3 and 4, they're like throwing shit at you, like, you fucking Lord, you told us this was gonna be a good fight.
Yeah. I told Sealy was with me, and I was like, dude, this will be the greatest fight you'll ever see in your entire life. And oh my goodness.
Yeah,
oh
well,
my goodness.
did you shit the bed on that one?
Yep.
But nonetheless, we'll get back to this because this is a very serious issue. I want to talk about the odds here. Vegas has this fight incredibly enough. They have the consensus, and I know I keep saying it, guys, but the consensus greatest heavyweight of all time. They have him as a slight underdog at a plus 105. How do you feel about that, Tabor, going into this fight next Saturday?
I'm actually shocked it's not more. I'm shocked that Francis is not like a minus 300.
Would you? Okay, so if you're Vegas, do you put those odds as Francis minus 300?
Well, no, because you probably don't make as much money, right?
Well, right. But I'm just saying, like, this is literally a pick and fight.
That's what it should be. It should be like these are right odds. Like this is what it should be. But with the hype around Ngannou and just how much fucking power he has, I'm shocked it's not more.
Now,
I
look,
really am.
We all know I'm picking Francis Ngannou here, but it blows my mind, okay, from a betting standpoint, that again, you have the greatest heavyweight of all time, Stipe, who literally took this guy 2 or 3 years ago and dominated him for all 5 rounds, and he's still the underdog. In what other scenario, in what other world ever, I mean, any division out there in the UFC, in what other scenario would you have that happen?
This is a sport, I guess.
This is
the way
just
that,
like,
I mean, look,
yeah.
Connor's going to be the favorite in this next Dustin Poirier fight.
Oh, God,
You know
I
what I
hope
mean?
he is, because guess what? I'm laying money on Dustin again. Because I won. I won my money on that. I knew Dustin was going to go out there. Yeah, it's the guys that stay in the game who continue on to keep fighting, you know.
Yeah.
But nonetheless here, odds are super close, man. How do you see this fight going down, Tabor?
To be honest, I just don't know. I don't know. I feel like everyone in the world thinks Francis is just going to go smoke Stipe, and I just... It could happen. It without a doubt could happen. Like we said earlier, is Francis going to come out and in the first 15 seconds just go for the KO? If he does that, it's going to be a rough night for him probably. Who knows? Or he could just get the KO. I just don't know, dude. I don't know. I like that this fight's a pick 'em because it should be. Really, anything can happen in this wild sport. I just have to stick with my guy, dude. Like, he's without a doubt top 3 favorite fighter of all time, Stipe Miocic. You know what made me the biggest Stipe fan?
What's that?
It was the first Francis fight.
Really?
Just the legendary performance he put on. I remember, because I wasn't super into UFC and I remember going, yeah, fuck, I got nothing else to do this Saturday. I bought the pay-per-view, and that performance is what made me go, oh, I've been missing out these last few years.
Well, let's keep in mind, too, and let's not kid ourselves, so many people counted Stipe Miocic out of that fight.
Everyone.
Even though
including
he was the
myself.
Champion.
Yeah, and
he was the champ.
And he was on the verge of becoming the consensus greatest with the most title defenses, and he was knocking dudes out left and fucking right, and I still bought into the Francis hype. And then Francis gets smoked. Francis got... well, Derek Lewis, I guess, is what you could say. And then the resurgence since has been fantastic.
It has been.
Like I said earlier, it's the same talking points, dude. It really is. This fight is no different the second time, I think. I'm going to go Stipe unanimous decision. I don't see Stipe finishing Francis. I'm not saying he can't. He absolutely can. He has the knockout power. He has the submission game. He has the wrestling. He, without a doubt, can finish Francis. I just don't see that happening. If anyone's getting knocked out here, it's Stipe, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm the biggest Stipe. I'm the biggest Stipe fan. But if anyone's getting knocked out here, it's him. I'm going Stipe Miocic, unanimous decision. I'm going to put 250 church coin on the guy. I want to put more. I really do, because I do think if Stipe comes out and puts on the exact same performance again, consensus greatest heavyweight of all time, consensus, you could say pound for pound, one of the greatest fighters ever.
Yeah.
Without
Absolutely.
a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, especially if it's the same performance, which replicating that performance is probably the most difficult thing you could ask that guy.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that, 110%. My pick. So we have constantly been one-upping each other on the church coin bets on this podcast, and I have been waiting for this fight for a very long time for this one reason. I knew it would be the most church coins I had ever put on a fight, period, and I do have a little bit of a comfortable lead, but I am willing to risk that lead in its entirety. I got about a 4,000 church coin lead over you, so I have decided to lay down the new biggest bet on this podcast. I am laying 4,000 church coin on Francis Ngannou, first round knockout within the first minute of this fight. I think Ngannou is going to go out there. I think he's going to try to take his head off, and it just takes one punch with this guy, and I like it. I like the puncher's chance here. It's literally a pick 'em fight. I love the odds going into this for Francis Ngannou, so I'm putting 4,000 church coins down on Francis Ngannou to be the new heavyweight champion of the world. And not only that, but I am a Francis Ngannou fanboy. This is like a special Mike Tyson era. And what better way to win the heavyweight belt than to beat the greatest heavyweight of all time? And I don't care if Stipe loses this fight, Ngannou, John Jones, they have a long path in front of them before they can be considered the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Let's pump the brakes here. Let's pump the brakes. If Stipe loses, does he deserve a rematch? Do you think they do a trilogy?
Well, hold on. If Stipe wants it, yes, he deserves it. I'll say that. But I think, honestly, at this point in Stipe's career, if he were to lose to Ngannou, I don't know necessarily. Because what is he? He's 39 now, right? 38, 39?
Yeah, something like
He's getting real close to 40, which is typically when heavyweights retire, typically, right? So, yes. I'll tell you that right now. First and foremost, if Francis Ngannou goes out there and beats Stipe absolutely deserves a trilogy. I don't give a flying fuck about John Jones. That fight can wait. You give the man his respect. You give him what he deserves as the greatest heavyweight of all time, and you give him that trilogy fight. Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. But I don't think if Stipe, because I'll tell you why. It's kind of the same thing with DC, right? DC took that trilogy. It ended up not going his way, and he wasn't the greatest heavyweight of all time. Stipe could very well be put in that scenario, because we could be looking at the new greatest heavyweight of all time in Ngannou.
I think Ngannou ruins the heavyweight division.
Wow, what the fuck kind of take is that?
I think he ruins it. I think he makes it unentertaining.
Get out of here.
I seriously think that. I seriously think that. I think
balls
he
is
just
hot.
fucking smokes. He smokes everybody. He already has.
Okay,
He already has.
that's
He
what you
ruins the
mean.
division. He makes it unentertaining. He makes it non-interesting. Francis Ngannou not being the champion makes it more interesting in my opinion.
That's like pulling in with a false headline where I'm like, come on, bro. But I get it. Okay, I see
You know
where
what I
you're
mean?
coming from.
It's
That
like,
was
what is
good.
he going to do? Is he going to fight John Jones 7 times? Like, there's no one else.
Yeah, you got.
There's
me,
really
you
no
bastard.
one else. Like, I think I'm okay. Ruining the division. That's pretty. That's
I get what
pretty
you're saying.
harsh.
I know, but you led with that, and then you made your point. It makes sense. It does make sense.
It's not as exciting as this fight. Like Francis fighting for the belt is more exciting than Francis defending it.
I want to ask you a hypothetical on this heavyweight, though. Okay, so what if Ngannou goes out there hypothetically, right, and does beat Stipe? Okay. Stipe's still the greatest heavyweight of all time, especially if he retires off that loss, right?
Yeah.
Because most champions do. I mean, most. Unless you're Habib, there are rare occasions in the sport, GSP, but majority of the time, right? Like DC, he went out. He went out with a loss. If Stipe goes out and that fight remains 1-1, do you know how much more Ngannou has to defend and how better he's got to be than Stipe, right? So if Stipe wants to roll the dice, get the trilogy for him, but if he lets it sit at 1-1, that's going to be a debate for ages, right?
Yeah, it will be.
It'll be a debate for ages. So it's really what Stipe wants to do. And I will tell you, I'm totally in agreement. If Stipe wants that trilogy, he deserves it if Ngannou goes out there and beats him.
My perfect scenario is Stipe just grinds out the most gutting fucking hardest victory of his entire career, retires on top, and then you do Francis John Jones for the vacant belt. That's what I think is the perfect way to do it. But I wouldn't be shocked if Stipe ends up staying and defends several times if he does win. If he loses, it's a different story. Even then, he might still fight. I don't hear any word from Stipe ever, period, which is, he doesn't talk to the media. But, I don't hear anything of him saying, this is it.
Yeah, no. And let me ask you this,
It could
too.
be. I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Stipe goes out there, steamrolls through Ngannou again for 5 rounds, because I want to play devil's advocate here on the other way. You don't think Stipe would take at least one more fight and try to beat the guy that's never been beaten before? John Jones.
That's the matchup.
That's the final matchup because dude. If Stipe goes out there and beats Ngannou, who everyone thinks will be the greatest heavyweight of all time, right? Or a lot of people, I should say, a lot of fans. He goes out there and steamrolls him again, and then he takes on John Jones, and he only has to do it once. That's it. With a guy like John, you only have to do it once. You only have to give that guy his first L and then ride off to the sunset. Stipe, it doesn't matter what anyone else does in their career. It doesn't matter if Ngannou defends the belt 9 times. Stipe has won a trilogy against DC. He beat Ngannou twice, and then beat the guy who has never been beaten before in his entire career, who many say is the GOAT. Dude.
It's
You
a
ride off
hard
into the
argument to
sunset
make
after
for not being the GOAT.
Yeah, it'd be an impossible one. If he went out there and beat John Jones after beating Ngannou, and anyone said Stipe wasn't the greatest of all time,
They're an idiot.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're stupid, dude. You put that respect on the man's name. But again, these are all hypotheticals, but they're so much fun to talk about.
Right.
That's why.
Right.
That's why this fight is so much fun.
It's because you don't know what's going to happen.
know,
You really
man.
don't. I mean, you can think Francis is going to go smoke him in 15 seconds, but who knows? You just don't know.
That's what everyone thought the first time around too. It's really how much has Francis Ngannou developed his takedown defense and his clinch work. That's
if
really what it comes down
if
to.
Francis comes out technical, I think he smokes him.
Really.
I think if Francis learned how to be a technical boxer, he would be consensus greatest.
He just gets
heavyweight
too
of all time.
excited, man.
Exactly,
He
and
sees
that's his
red and he just wants
kryptonite.
to-
That's his
it is.
kryptonite. If he goes out like he did in the first fight, dude, it's going to be a rough night for him. I think because Stipe will capitalize on those giant, obvious looping punches.
He's just too smart of a fighter. He's been there, seen that, done that. And again, you're dealing with the greatest.
Yeah, we've spent way too long on this.
That's
one
okay,
fight.
dude.
It's worth it. It's such
was
a good
worth it
match.
because literally we have been sitting on this fight for so many months. We just wanted to talk about it, and now it's just like exuding out of our mouths. Right? It sounds a little bit like this.
Absolutely. So the MMA news I teased earlier, unfortunately, the co-main event of the evening did fall out. It was Volkanovski and Ortega for the featherweight championship belt. Volkanovski apparently tested positive for coronavirus when once he arrived in Vegas. He had 2 or 3 negative tests, and then he got to Vegas, had a positive test. And I don't know if they did multiple tests or if it was a false negative or not. I'm guessing they probably did, because if you just have one positive, I'm sure they'd go, let's just test a couple more times just to make sure before you make anything rash decisions.
Well, and that's kind of what Alexander Volkanovski said. He said he tested negative in Australia, flying over. He tested negative in the UFC bubble, Las Vegas bubble, whatever. And then he tested positive like a week before or whatever, a week before this fight, which is really unfortunate because I was really looking forward to that featherweight matchup.
Yeah, it's a great
between him and
matchup.
Ortega. It's a great matchup, and Ortega was all class. I was wondering if he was going to be all pissed off about it, but he wrote in a statement that he wishes Alexander Volkanovski a speedy recovery, and that this fight's still going to happen. This COVID-19 stuff, it happens when you test positive. You got to push it back. But when do we think this fight is going to take place? Now, I'm thinking probably May, man, because they were
You added on to that lightweight title fight. Yeah,
probably May 15th. That's my guess.
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. It does suck for my guy. My guy was think about it. How many hours did he spend on a plane?
A lot.
A lot of hours. How many hours is he going to have to spend in quarantine now?
Well, I mean, you're talking 2 weeks here and then 2 weeks over back in Australia, man. So, I mean, you're looking at a month.
They made Hooker do over 2 months of quarantine. He had to quarantine for 3 weeks before they even let him fly back to New Zealand. And then he quarantined another 2.5 weeks, dude.
It's bonkers, man.
It's crazy, dude. The things some of these guys are going through.
And it's like, dude, UFC 260 here. It is still a stacked card.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine how awesome that would have been having 2 title fights on this card, the hype surrounding this card, but really nothing is taken away. And, we'll jump into these other fights on this card, but, you got Tyron Woodley, Vicente Luque, Sean O'Malley versus Thomas Almeida, Jamie Mullarkey versus Kama Worthy. I mean, this is still a really great card, man.
Yep. And then you got bangers. You got bangers left and right.
Yeah, William Knight, Alonzo Menafield. Those will be fun.
Let's
jump into the co-main.
Yep. Tyron versus Vicente. Tyron Woodley is finally coming back after that just 3 straight 5-round dominations.
You mean 15 straight rounds of domination?
Oh, my goodness.
It has not been a good go-around for Tyron Woodley. I'm really shocked that he did not retire after getting his rib broken from Colby Covington. I really thought like Tyron would be done. I thought he was doing his movie star thing, his rap game, but he still wants to fight. I mean, hey, former champ. He was super dominant for a long time at the welterweight division. If he wants to keep fighting, he can keep fighting. And when this fight was announced, I was so excited. I thought this was the perfect matchup.
Yeah, because Vicente ain't going to go take him down. So finally, Tyron can do what he wants. He could dance around the octagon and not throw punches. Throwing shade, my guy.
Throwing shade at the former champ. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said, Tyron. You better fucking pull the trigger this time, my guy, because I'm going with you. I'm going with you, Tyron.
Okay.
You're a plus 220. That is a great value in my opinion.
It is a great value. I will not doubt that.
It's former champion. Yeah, he got dominated by jiu-jitsu guys and wrestlers on the ground. This is a striking matchup, and all it takes really is one with Tyron, but he's only looking for the one. That's all he does. Yeah. I'm going for the one-punch KO, and that's it. And then he just gets fucking dominated, I guess.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing with Tyron Woodley in his career. I don't know when it transpired, when it happened, but I mean, this guy had knockout power, but for whatever reason, his last couple fights, as you said, he's trigger shy, man.
Trigger shy.
Like, he's so scared to throw combinations. And I don't want to say scared. That's not the right word, because he's a fucking professional fighter. He isn't scared of shit, okay? But he's timid, right? He's timid. He doesn't want to put together combinations. And it's like, Tyron, trust in your ability, dude. You are a champion who defended your belt multiple times. You still got it, man.
Yeah,
you still got it. You're a phenomenal athlete. Believe in yourself again. So, this is really where we're going to see. If Tyron Woodley loses this fight and he's still not the same Tyron, you got to hang him up.
Yeah.
And I know that's a tough thing to say. And who am I, some fat guy behind a desk, saying that this professional athlete needs to retire? But at some point, if you don't got it, you don't got it anymore.
I hope he keeps fighting, regardless win or lose. I hope he keeps fighting, because he ain't making no money with his fucking rap career. Let's be real, that shit sucks. Bro, he is falling man in love, out and in love with you, falling in and out of love and out of love with you. It's like, come on,
we're gonna get copyrighted for that, but no, but dude, I mean, I get it. I don't listen to rap. I still listen to The Doors and Pink Floyd and stuff. So I don't know the industry, but I heard the kids like it. They like the whatever. So I can't really comment on that too much.
I'm sorry. I'm just throwing so much shade at Tyron.
And you're picking him, though.
Yeah, I'm picking him, though. I think he could do it, dude. Without a doubt. It only takes one. He can flatline Luque. If Mike Perry almost beat Vicente Luque, Tyron Woodley should be the favorite in this matchup. This is a little disrespectful that he's a plus 220, in my opinion, but I get it. 15 straight rounds. It's a hard argument to make that he's actually going to be competitive, but I see it. I see it happening. I'm going to throw the minimum bet.
Alrighty.
Minimum bet. So 100 church coin on Woodley. Woodley please, man, just please pull the trigger. When you pull the trigger, you are without a doubt a electric firecracker, dude.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that.
He can flatline dudes. And I just want him to pull the trigger. And he promised he would against Colby, didn't. So I don't want to hear no shit talk. I don't want to hear no fucking rap songs. I don't want to hear nothing other than fucking your fist cracking into Luque's face. It's the only noise I want to hear right now. And I think he could get it done. I really do. I like Vicente Luque, though, dude. Vicente Luque is without a doubt one of the most technical strikers in the entire division.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Let's look at Vicente Luque. He has won 6 out of his last 7 fights, right? This guy finishes dudes. Randy Brown finished him in the 2nd round. Finished Nico Price as well. Both these fights happening in 2020. You know, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson did get that win over him in November of 2019. But, you know, he finishes majority of the guys, except Mike Perry was the only guy he did not finish. I like Vicente Luque here. I think the odds are a little astronomical. I think they're a little too big. For me, this fight would have been sitting at like maybe Vicente Luque at a minus 150. I think the odds are pretty fucking crazy. But I like Vicente Luque here. I am putting 510 church coin on Vicente Luque at a minus 270. I think he's going to get the job done. And I can't bet for Tyron. I love Tyron. I hope he comes out and I hope he performs the way that we all know he can. But I just don't have trust in his ability right now because I have not seen it over the course of his last 3 fights. All 5 rounds, 15 rounds. I haven't seen it from him. I haven't seen the same guy, man. So for me, I can't lay my hard-earned church coin on the man. I can't do it.
Would you say that you're falling out of love with Tyron?
Oh, man. I still love the guy. I still love Tyron. I do. And I think he was one of the most underappreciated champions at the welterweight division
without
I've
a
ever
doubt.
seen in my life.
Without a doubt.
He deserves so much more credit.
Yeah.
But, you know, again, it is what it is. Well, both.
Yeah,
you know, it is what it is.
They both work.
But I think Vicente Luque is on the up and up, and I just like his ability against Tyron Woodley. But I think this one will be a lot more fun, and I think Tyron can really showcase what he can do still in this fight. So
I think it'll be competitive.
Yeah.
So the numbers don't tell an accurate story, in my opinion. All right, let's move on to the next fight. Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Thomas Almeida. Sugar Sean is coming in at a minus 300. Thomas is a plus 240.
Yeah.
Sugar Sean O'Malley. Like, I'm sorry, Thomas
I
Almeida. Sugar Sean O'Malley, 1st round KO. I'm gonna throw 1,000 church coin on my guy, dude.
Wow.
I don't see Thomas Almeida doing nothing, dude. Nothing.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way. I'm sorry, Thomas Almeida. You have fantastic jiu-jitsu. Yeah, I got fantastic jiu-jitsu, but I just don't see it happening on the feet. If it stays on the feet, Sugar Sean going for that KO, and he's probably gonna get it. Thomas is on a 3-fight losing streak.
He is. And I mean, since 2016 has lost to Cody Garbrandt, 2017 lost to Jimmy Rivera, 2018 lost to Rob Font, didn't fight in 2019 and 2020, also lost to Jonathan Martinez.
Yeah.
And now he's got Sean O'Malley here sitting in front of him. I mean, to be fair, he's fighting the best of the best in this division. But this is going to be a very tough fight for Thomas Almeida.
On the feet. Like, let's be specific. If it goes down to the ground, it's different.
Oh, yeah.
It's very different because he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Sugar, I believe, is a purple belt. Yep. There's levels to this game on the ground, but Sugar is getting better and better everywhere, every day. Yep. It's just, part of me wants to just say, fuck Sugar. I hope he gets knocked the fuck out. Part of me wants to say that.
So I was waiting until you were done with yours, but... You know, I was such a big Sugar Sean O'Malley fan. I really was. Like, I was on the hype train, and I still think he's a fantastic fighter. I really do, and I think he's got a very great and promising future in this organization, unquestionably. But I just can't stand the kid's attitude. Yeah. He's too big for his britches right now, and he just thinks he's better than what he is.
You see what he tweeted? He's like, put him undefeated record on the line in 1 week.
Right, so that shit pisses me off. It's like, no, dude, you lost. Yeah, you lost to Chito Vera. Chito Vera dominated you. He put you to bed in the 1st round. Like, I don't want to hear this bullshit anymore from this kid. I'm kind of over it.
Yeah.
And so this is kind of just out of spite. I'm actually going with Thomas Almeida. It's out of spite. It doesn't make any logistical sense because I think Sugar Sean O'Malley will win this fight. But I'm kind of praying that, like, Sugar Sean needs to get humbled.
Yeah, I agree.
I think he needs to get humbled because, like, this kid he has no humility at all, and he can't admit that he lost that fight. And for me, like, I don't respect people like that.
Yeah.
Like, and I've respected so many fighters who have lost. and who have lost huge fights.
Ben Askren and Jorge Masvidal, literally the worst possible way you could lose your own.
Right. Well, how about DC as well?
Yeah.
Like DC has taken that L very well with the trilogy fight against Stipe Miocic. I respect that. It's not a matter of whether or not you win or lose as if I'm on your bandwagon. That's not what it is. But to literally just throw it out the window and just say, yeah, I didn't lose that fight. I'm putting my undefeated record on the line. I don't respect you, dude. I don't respect you. Like, have a little humility, realize like the stakes of the situation. And I don't know, dude. I'm over it. I'm off the Sugar Sean O'Malley hype train, not because he lost, but because of the way he's been handling it.
Yeah.
And it's just super immature to me.
Yeah, well,
like, it's not what I want to see. To each is their own. I'm sure some people love him and they love what he's doing, and it's getting people to talk about him. So it makes sense strategically, but I can't put up with it as a fan anymore. So just out of spite, I am putting 200 church coin on Almeida for the win.
There's a reason why he won our biggest loser of the year, 2020.
Yeah.
So,
and again, promising fighter. I think true contender.
And they're setting him up for a good victory here. With a big victory here, you know, he's not going to come out and be humble. Like, let's be real. Of
course not.
He's not going to do that. But with a big victory here, it could be good for Sugar. I mean, it gets his hype back.
Yep.
I only want the best for the guy, really. But, you know, I agree with everything you just said.
And
dude.
look,
he needs to be humbled. I just don't see it happening in this fight.
And look, dude, I don't want to get it twisted. I'm not wishing any ill will towards Sugar Sean O'Malley.
I know that.
Again, like, he's a promising fighter. I'm excited about his future. I just think he needs to get humbled a little bit.
He does.
And I think
agree.
he needs to realize, like, this is a sport where everyone loses, and it's okay and it's fine.
Yeah.
But just take your L's, learn from those L's, and continue on, right?
Yeah.
But don't just say that, oh, he's a journeyman. Oh, I beat him. I'm putting my undefeated record on the line. What if you go out there and what if Thomas Almeida submits you? Are you still undefeated?
What if he fucking KOs you in the first round?
Are you just going to keep making excuses?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. I'm off the hype train. Like, for as much as, and you can go back to our podcast last year, we talked about Sugar Sean O'Malley all the time. You were wearing the t-shirt every other week. Like, we love Sugar Sean, but like, I just can't put up with with this horse shit. I can't do it. I don't have any respect for him as a fan. So
yeah.
We'll see if it changes, but
probably
as
won't.
of right now, Thomas Almeida, go out there and submit the kid. Do it. Humble him a little bit.
Rips his knee in
and
half.
Look,
like, oh shit.
Here's the thing. I might not hate Sugar Sean O'Malley forever. So like, if Sugar Sean O'Malley goes out there, loses again, and then he's like, okay, I lost. I'm humbled. I realize my mistakes. I'm going to move on moving forward. I'll forgive and forget. You want to know why? I'm a dude. I don't fucking hold grudges, you know? And I love watching the guy fight. He's an entertaining fighter. He could be a potential superstar. But, dude, take your L's. Look at Israel Adesanya. Israel Adesanya right there, man. Didn't make any excuses for losing against Yan. Didn't make a single fucking excuse. Guess what? It didn't blow his hype train. I didn't lose any respect for Israel Adesanya at all because he took the L. And he said, yeah, it was a close fight. I lost the fight. It is what it is. That was his first loss ever as a mixed martial artist. And he took the L with grace and humility. And that's why I'm a huge Israel Adesanya fan. And that's why I continue to watch him and tune in, you know, and respect him and root for Israel to continue to have a great career in the UFC. But I can't respect guys who don't respect the sport, who don't respect an L. I just can't do it, man. I can't. So, again, sorry about the rant, but fuck, man. So annoying.
What color is his hair going to be?
Probably it'll probably be cool again. I do have to say it's kind of cool.
It's going to be something.
His hair's
you know?
cool and unique. You know, I like it.
It's going to be something.
It's different again, you know, and that brings eyeballs to the sport. And I get what he's doing to a certain extent, but do it in a different way. Do it in a different way.
Jamie, we got to move the fuck on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've way too long on that.
That's fine. This is a fun podcast, though, man. We're just
You're fired up. You're fired up. I like it. Jamie Malarkey and Kama Worthy. Jamie Malarkey's coming into plus 120 to Kama Worthy minus 140. Jamie Malarkey made his UFC debut with Brad Riddell. I remember that fight, and Jesus fucking Christ, it was a war.
That was a hell of a fight.
It was such a war, dude. It was insane. This guy is fucking gonna go in there and just murk guys. Yeah, like he's going to try. Sure. He's going to at least go. And then the guy he's fighting, Kama Worthy, has got
goes in there and murks guys too.
Freaking one-punch knockout power. So, first round KO probably? Either guy?
Sure. Yeah. I think this. I hate to say this because I normally curse it, but I don't see this fight going decision, man. I really don't. I think it's going to be a barn burner, and we're going to see someone.
Someone's going to sleep. Yeah, someone's going to sleep. If I have to put money on it, which I do, it is church coin bets. I'm going 250 church coin on Kama Worthy. I just I like Kama in this. Jamie, unfortunately, is coming on a 3-fight losing streak, I believe, or a 2-fight losing streak. It's one of them. It's just a rough matchup. Kama Worthy did just get KO'd by Otman Azayatar, but it's like, that's Otman Azayatar. It happens.
Yeah. It does. I mean, the guy's undefeated, and he loves his potatoes. So
he loves his fucking spuds, my guy. He loves his spuds.
Yeah. I'm kind of on the same train here. I like Kama Worthy in this fight. He did lose to Azayatar, but who doesn't? Who doesn't?
Everyone that stood in front of him.
Yeah, exactly. And he really impressed me against Violent Bob Ross. Haha, there he is. That's why I got the Bob Ross thing. I love Bob Ross, and I love Violent Bob Ross. But he got the job done. He was really impressive in that fight. Won a decision there against him. I like Kama Worthy here. I'm laying 200 church coin down on Worthy for the win.
Alrighty. William Knight versus Alonzo Menafield. Both of them are a -110. Straight up pick 'em.
Oh, for sure. In full transparency, William Knight is my cousin, so.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just joking. That'd be cool, though. I mean, I'll claim it. He's a UFC fighter. It's pretty cool. But.
Yeah, it would be cool. Dude, I mean, who the fuck wins this fight? Who knows? Throw a fucking coin in the air?
Yep.
Flip a coin
It's
and
literally
find out?
flip 'em.
Right?
Or,
just
flip
pick a guy.
coin. Yep.
Pick a guy, really.
That's what I'm doing here.
I'm just going 100. Like, I'm not going to put too much on this because I don't know. I'm going to go Knight. Fuck it. Why not? I don't really know the guy. 9-1. He's the shortest light heavyweight ever. Okay. Alira Tifi. Okay, Alira Tifi was like 5'7" or some shit.
I might be wrong on here, but didn't Frankie Edgar fight at lightweight at least a fight or two?
No,
Did he ever
it was
go up?
BJ Penn fought at light heavyweight.
No, not light heavyweight, lightweight.
At lightweight?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Didn't Frankie Edgar?
Frankie Edgar fought at lightweight, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's former lightweight champion. But BJ Penn did fight at 205 before, which is crazy. I think he fought fucking Lyoto Machado. Like, what?
Yeah, okay. That's insane.
Insane. We're off topic.
Yeah.
William Knight, I think he's like 5'10" or 5'9", fighting at 205, and he's just the thickest, most jacked guy I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Against a guy who's only 1 inch taller and is also the thickest, most jacked guy I've ever seen. Just pick him.
Yep,
someone's going to fucking land a punch and someone's going to sleep. I'm going with Knight. Why not?
All right. Do you think he's going to make his opponent go night?
Ooh, shit. Dude, you're bringing him in some heat tonight.
Hey,
I love it.
I
love it.
I'm just the joke master here. I'm going to go Alonzo Menafield here. Again, this is a pick'em fight, guys. This fight can go either way. Who fucking knows? I'm putting 250 church coin on Menafield for the win.
All right. Why not? We need a chick fight.
Absolutely.
Jessica Panay.
Is it a card if we don't have a women's fight? It's not. I don't think it's a true
Not
card.
in my opinion.
No, I want to see one at least on every single card. And we're going to get 2 at UFC 261 or 2. That's going to be insane.
I only wish the best for Hannah Goldie because if her face gets fucked up, all her OnlyFans people are going to be fucking pissed.
I don't even know who she is.
Yeah, I think this is her UFC debut.
Oh, okay.
I think so. She's a super popular girl on Instagram, just beautiful, of course. Just beautiful. And she's a fucking savage, too, dude. She goes in there and doesn't care. She goes, I'm prettier than Paige Van Zandt, but I don't give a shit. Just beats the shit out of girls. I love it. This is what I want to see. So I'm going to go Hannah Goldie. Why not? I don't really know her
Just
fight
so
itself.
we don't get sued, are you sure she has an OnlyFans or was that just a joke?
No, that's 100%. She's got an OnlyFans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just clarifying.
I don't subscribe.
I just want to
subscribe.
make sure that we stay, straight and narrow here. I'm going to go Jessica Panay in this fight, or Panay, right? It's a pick'em fight,
like that,
so I'm going to lay the minimum bet, 100 church coin on Panay for the win.
Yeah, I'm going to go 200 on Goldie. Why not?
All
Why
right,
not?
doubling
go
it
for
up.
my girl.
Why the
Go
hell
for my
not,
girl.
right? On a pick'em, why not?
Mason, we did an hour and a half.
We did an hour and a half. Babe, this was a loaded episode, guys. Loaded show, but we were jacked. We were ready to get in the studio.
so
we had
jacked.
a lot to talk about. What a fun episode, Tabor. What a fun episode.
Absolutely. So much fun. And, it's that time. We always come. It's shout outs.
Yep.
So I'll start, every week I give a shout out to I cannot talk now.
Yeah. No,
hour and a half. All the words came out. So blah, blah, blah. But no, every week I give a shout out to a YouTube commenter. So if you aren't subscribed, go and do it, guys. It doesn't matter if it's a video we just dropped last week or if it's a video we dropped today or it's a video we dropped 6 months ago. If you comment and it makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me cringe, anything, if it gets my attention, I'm going to read you on the podcast. So go subscribe, go smash that like button, and also hit that notification bell and leave a comment down below, and you will be featured on the Church of MMA podcast.
Powerful, Tabor.
Okay. MMA Art. You got the comment this week.
Nice.
What the fuck? Juliana.
What a way to start. They're just roasting us. Let's go.
What the fuck? Juliana is not putting on an act. She is confident that she will beat Nunes. She is not just in it to just participate. She is in it to win it. And don't act like Amanda has never lost before or she is unbeatable. Juliana has the best chance in the world to beat Nunes, especially because of her style, which is so similar to Kat Zingano's style. Considering that Amanda gasses out a bantamweight, if she is in a tough grappling fight, it's 50-50. Definitely not a guaranteed win for Nunes.
MMA Art. Thank you for the comment. Love the passion. I love it. Even when you disagree with us, I absolutely love it. And yeah, you are right. Of course. And I don't want to take anything away from Juliana Pena. Of course, she's ready to show up and fight. I just think Amanda Nunes' skills are just insurmountably better than Juliana Pena. And, you know, those Amanda Nunes losses were many years ago in her career. And I just think she is top echelon, pound for pound, greatest consensus women's fighter in the history of the sport. And I'm not trying to throw any disrespect on Juliana Pena. I'm really not. And I hope you don't take it that way. Thank you for the comment again. But hey, I just think Amanda's leaps and bounds better. That's all it comes down to. And I don't think Juliana Pena's got a prayer. But you could be right. I could be wrong. But thanks for the comment.
Yeah, well, she's kind of got a point with the grappling stuff. I mean, when she was going down to the ground with Jermaine Durandamine, like is a shitty grappler, by the way, also. So let's say that. She didn't look the best. She did not look the best. She was on top, but she got hit with some up kicks and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's interesting. It's very interesting. I'm gonna roll with Amanda. Hey, she's my girl, dude. I'm gonna roll with Amanda. She's just that much better in my opinion. I'm sorry.
But hey, MMAR, go lay some money on Juliana Pena if you're really confident about that. You might cash out $1 millionaire on putting $5 on
and send us a screenshot, dude. Hit us up, comment down below, and all that stuff. And shit. Absolutely. If you're so smart and you're right, we'll bring you on the show.
And I love the passion, too. I really do. I love those long comments because you can tell that those people really care about this sport and are passionate about these fighters, and that's what I love to see.
Yeah, well, their name is MMA Art.
Of course, yeah. So, hey, they got that. Hey, maybe you can make us some art, and we'll hang it up on a canvas because we are going to be switch swapping this art back here.
Fan art, that'd be sweet. Yeah, that's a great idea.
I'd love to get some fan art one day. All right, my shout-out of the week goes to Zack Snyder in the Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League, guys. After everything this man had been through, the tragedy that struck his daughter, and everything he was put through over the last 4 or 5 years trying to get this thing together, HBO Max greenlit it, gave him $70 million to let this man finish his vision. There's nothing more important, and we got to get on the side of filmmakers when these sort of things happen. He was able to put his vision together, and I got to say, I see it, Zach. I really did see it. I had given some flack saying, oh, it's not going to be any better, but man, I love the fact that he proved everyone wrong, and the film was really good. I could have done away with the 20, 30 minutes of exposition at the end, but I saw your vision and it all made sense, man. And I got it. My shout outs to Zack Snyder after everything you've been through. Congratulations on the Snyder Cut. What a success that was. And I highly recommend everyone go and watch it. And those 4 hours flew by for me. And that's something.
4 hours?
Yes, it was a 4-hour film. And that's something very hard to accomplish, to keep the audience engaged for 4 hours. So the fact that he was able to complete his vision and get closure on this chapter of his life is a huge thing. So my shout out goes to Zack Snyder. Phenomenal job on Justice League. There were some minor flaws, but overall it was brilliant. So that's
who my favorite Justice League character is?
Who's that?
Black Robot. What's his name?
Oh, Cyborg.
I know, I'm just joking.
Oh, dude. No, I'm dead serious, though. Go watch the Snyder Cut.
So I still haven't seen the first one. Oh, my God,
bro. There was actually a story.
Every time I try sitting down and watching Justice League, I get to the part where Batman's having that vision of all the fucking bat things flying in the sky, and I'm like, I just don't care, and I walk away.
But trust me on this.
It's like before the team even gets formed.
Yeah. There is a full-blown story of Cyborg that we didn't see in the Josh.
And he's literally my favorite character of that entire thing. Oh. Because has the most interesting story.
And you're going to fucking love the Snyder Cut then, because the main character is Cyborg. That's why I understand the actor Ray Fisher getting so pissed off when Josh Whedon's Justice League, because there was so much story that they completely just cut out for Cyborg, but we get it in the Snyder Cut. And I think that's one of the main reasons why it was so successful. Honestly, it was a great film. So again, shout out to Zack Snyder. This has been a long podcast, guys. So we will, let's wrap this bad boy
It's about to be as long as that movie, dude.
It will be. Here we go.
All right, guys, social media accounts, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Gab at the Church of MMA. We're posting funny memes. We're trying to make you guys laugh. Hit us up.
Check out our YouTube channel too, guys. Trying to grow our account to 500 subscribers. Let's hit it this week. Making new thumbnails. Trying to improve the show each and every week, guys. This is the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Mason Knight. That is Tabor Cragen. And until next time.
Peace.